Welcome to Before the Bat, the Gotham podcast, your guide to the TV show Gotham and all things Batman. I am Phil Parrish, and it's not a dream, it's not an illusion, it's not an hallucination. Kelly and Tyler are both here.
Hey! We are not feuding, we are not fighting. Kelly and I are not against each other, we just have opposite schedules.
Yes, we do. Well, welcome to the wonderful world of retail.
It was all paparazzi lies.
It was all a publicity stunt to boost ratings.
There you go.
Who would be this week with Phil? Is it Tyler? Is it Kelly? Find out today.
All right. So, I know you said you wanted to jump in with Jerome, so...
Yeah,
thoughts? Sorry,
fans. Phil and I were working on another project that kind of ran a little longer today. So I just said we'll get this spoilers. This is a spoiler cast, but I was finally getting comfortable with the idea of Jerome being the Joker. The idea of, okay, we're giving him a backstory. This is Gotham. It's an alternate world, ultimate timeline. Things are working different. Okay, I'm rolling with it, you know? I'm liking what this kid's bringing. I like his performance. Then they kill him at the end. And I knew it was coming when the way Theo was talking about needing a hero, setting it up, and then I'm just like, dang it, man. Like, right as, like, they could have even waited a little farther into the season. No, episode 3. Wacha!
Does that mean Barbara's days are numbered now?
Hopefully, but...
Well, you like her now, so...
Well, I like because she's a character, not a set piece without pants. She has a point. I mean, her line where she said, Jim and I will be back together was kind of cool and creepy at the same time. Just because I have a theory. Like, I wonder if Barbara, like, what if she, like, sexually assaults Jim and that's how she gets pregnant? Wouldn't that be kind of crazy? And that's how we get James Jr.? But
that'd be dark.
I know, but this show is dark, so...
Yeah.
It's not Hannibal dark, but man, it's dark.
The one tweet I sent out during the live tweet that seemed to get the most response was when Barbara was on stage with Jerome, and I was like, how can they not recognize her? Everyone knows those legs.
Exactly. That's all. Like, you would recognize the legs before her face because that's all you ever saw.
Well, yeah, she was wearing a mask half the time, so I'm like, the whole city knows those legs. She always has them on display.
All right, here's my points quickly. Where is Montoya and Allen?
Oh, I don't think they're bringing them back, are they?
Do they just disappear? Like, I mean, they slowly just phased them out. Were they part of the idea of doing, like, more of the cop drama? You know, then they're like, oh, we don't need all these cops. I mean, they just completely, those characters, like, I rewatched season 1, they just disappear. Like,
yeah,
they're like, with Jim, and then they're gone. I mean, with Essen being killed now, like, and what else is crazy, this is supposed to be Rise of the Villains, and they killed off Jerome. Like, the villains that we're introduced to, like, they're just killing them off. So, is it villains or villain? I mean, like, Penguin's already on the rise. Theo's doing his thing. I wonder if Theo will be killed off at the end of the season, but by the Court of Owls. Like, the court gets off at it, and they kill him off, and no one knows how he dies. Like, just at the end, you just see Theo in his room, and a talent kills him, and that's it. That's how we get the court. That's it.
I think he is the Court of Owls, at least right now.
Well, we'll see. That would make me frustrated, but it depends on how they do it.
Because he was how he was all going on about how my family built this city and stuff. I'm thinking, what if it wasn't his literal family? What if he was talking about the court?
No, I did. That is, dang it! Why did I not think of that sooner? Dang it, Phil. But yeah, I'm totally like, okay, if he's gonna do that, sweet. I was just thinking, like, man, like, you know, they're changing Gotham's PD around. I guess this could also be a Rise of the Villains with Nigma, you know, crossing over, going crazy and killing people and becoming more of the Riddler. I don't know, but I liked Lucius Fox being back.
Yeah,
I like Alfred and Bruce this season. I like them. I thought it was hilarious that Alfred was hitting so hard on Leslie.
Oh yeah, and then
Yes.
Then he did it when he tells Bruce, "You knew, didn't you?" And he was like, "No."
Yeah, like they're just kind of chumming it, walking out. I like their relationship. Bullock being on Jim's side, like, I wonder if what's going to happen with that. I mean, it's getting better. It's like restructuring itself constantly, I think, to be more of the show people want. But man, just they killed off Jerome. But I did tell Jania, because she was all like, we're watching. She's like, man, I like him as the Joker. Like, this, and then all of a sudden she's like, what? Is he dead? Is he really dead? And I was like, I wonder if they'll. And as I'm saying this, I'm like, I wonder if it'll be like the idea is this guy inspires the Joker. And as I'm saying that, they do the ending where you just see all the people, like, laughing, the kids and the people, like, committing crimes and laughing and imitating. I'm like, okay, Gotham, you got us.
I didn't like Jerome as the Joker just because the Joker is supposed to be like pure, like, you know, anarchy and chaos, and how much chaos can you really be if you have like an origin set in stone?
Yeah, that's why I was kind of, like I said, getting used to the idea. Like, okay, I could roll with this. You know, it's Gotham. It's something different. I mean, the Joker, the closest thing we have to an origin is the Killing Joke. But even then, like, they tease us that maybe that's not the origin.
Well, yeah, because he even says in it, doesn't he, that he's so insane that he remembers it different every time.
Yeah, and they played with that angle in The Dark Knight. And I think that, you know, The Dark Knight was cool with the idea of there not really being a Joker origin. He just kind of appeared. And I think in some ways you want an origin of the Joker. But the character is just, I don't know. I was okay with this version having an origin just for something different.
Mm-hmm.
But now we know that the origin of the Joker technically is Jerome. And somehow Jerome imprinted on whoever the real Joker is. So we'll just roll with it. That's the kind of how I am with this show. I'm like, I'll just roll with it.
Well, Kelly, you were just watching a few minutes ago. What are your thoughts?
I love how wonderfully twisted he plays Jerome.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's really... I mean, he takes elements of several different Jokers.
Oh, he got all four in there.
Yeah, to make Jerome. He really... He's a very talented actor.
Yeah, you can tell he did his homework.
Yes.
I mean, there's some Cesar Romero, there's some Jack Nicholson, there's some Ledger, and there's some Hamill. Like, he got all four of them in there.
Yes. Yeah. And that was what impressed me so much about Jerome as a character. You know. So, yeah. I was like, oh, man.
All right. And I want to hold on. I want to bring this up because I don't know how much longer we'll have Tyler. But the whole Barbara thing, man, what a slut she is. In the beginning of this episode, she was with Tabitha. Then she's telling Leslie she's going to be back with Jim. And then by the end of the episode, she's with Theo.
That's one thing that bothered me about Barbara. Like, just that whole, how, like, she's all flirting with Tabitha. I'm like, that's going to come back to, like, Tabitha's going to kill Theo. I don't know. It's going to get bad. I'm like, Barbara's just going to get murdered by somebody because she's playing everybody. And maybe she'll have multiple personalities. I don't know.
It's bad enough she's playing around, but then she's playing around with a brother and quote unquote brother and sister. Who knows how true that is?
She can't keep her lips on her own face.
What?
Maybe they're brother and sister because they're part of the court. I don't know. Barbara still bothers me, but at least she's not a set piece.
I'd tell her to keep it in her pants, but she don't wear pants.
Yes.
Keep it in her mask? In her shoes? I don't know. All right, I got a piece.
All right.
Chat with you guys later.
All right. Talk to you next week.
Bye, Kelly.
Tonight.
Good to hear you.
Bye. Good to see you.
Bye.
Tyler, talk to you tonight.
Yep. Bye.
All right. Bye. That's right. We're going to be working on a special project, everyone.
Woohoo.
The Batman Long Halloween miniseries. Each episode takes place on a different holiday. Like, the first one's Halloween, so me, Tyler, and Lilith are doing the Halloween one tonight.
Oh, very fun.
It'll be out soon, hopefully around Halloween.
That would make sense.
Yeah, so once a month we'll be doing that. So around Halloween, then around Thanksgiving, around Christmas.
So you're giving everybody little gifts.
That's right.
For the holidays.
That's right. Don't say you don't get anything from our free podcast. All right, so where else should we delve into this episode?
I think the look of terror on poor Bruce's face when he has to go up to be part of this magic act's gone wrong.
Oh, I know. Between having to deal with Jerome and Barbara, basically getting his heart broken once again by Selena,
and then Alfred flirting with Leslie and kind of giving Bruce the cold shoulder.
Flirting hard.
Oh yeah. Wow. Don't try so hard, Alfred. You're cool. You don't have to try so hard.
I don't know if that was like a nod to like the comic books, because in some of the stories, like Dr. Tompkins is older and like her and Alfred kind of had like an on again, off again relationship.
That could be. But that's just really kind of freaky.
I know. It's just every 2 seconds he was like, "Would you like to have dinner? Sure, you can come over to the house. We can go to this restaurant."
Yes. Yeah, it was just really kind of weird.
And Bullock's back.
Yay!
Yay.
And he was decent enough to, Jim wouldn't leave, so he wouldn't leave,
Yeah.
and that made me happy.
He even threatened the Penguin for Jim.
Yes, which is kind of a nice juxtaposition of his character in the beginning.
Yeah, I was getting worried for him. He walked right into Penguin's stronghold with all his guys there with guns at him, and he's just like, I remember when you held Fish's umbrella.
Yes. Yeah, he was lucky he just didn't get himself clobbered for that one.
Oh, I know.
But yeah, this episode, I enjoyed it. I mean, it was cool.
I enjoyed Jerome. I just didn't want him to be the actual Joker.
Yeah.
And did you see, I guess some of I don't know if it was the show writers or producers, somebody was saying online that they're like, oh yeah, we've discussed, we couldn't have a female Joker.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna do it, but they're like we're open to the possibility. So I'm like, oh no, what are they gonna do with Barbara?
Oh yeah, no, Barbara couldn't. No, she couldn't pull that off. I don't think.
No. God,
she wouldn't have the physical strength needed for that either.
Yeah, I know. She's pretty short too, isn't she?
Yes. That would just not really work unless she wore like platforms and.
And let's not even get into the whole dynamic of Jim Gordon having a romantic history with the Joker. Then,
yeah, that would just be weird.
Just say no, people.
So what's the deal with the? Oh, I can't even think of his name now. The girl that Barbara was macking on.
Oh, Tabitha.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, what's her deal? Because, I mean, is she, you think that Selena is going to be inspired by her choice of clothing and weapon eventually?
That's what I'm thinking. It would make sense that, she teaches Selena how to use the whip because, I don't know, I wonder if Barbara has more contact with Selena again and that's how she meets Tabitha.
Yeah. I mean...
Yeah, I'm getting a definite Catwoman vibe off her.
Yeah. Well, the whole boots and the outfit and the, So I'm thinking something's going to happen to her, Yeah.
Well, I think she's supposed to be like Tigress or something too, so, get that whole cat motif, so.
Yeah. So it's just, I don't know. I like what they're doing this season so far. I like how we're seeing...
Just hear the energy in her voice before.
It's just been a long week, folks.
Oh, I know.
A really long week. It's just nice to see how we're getting... It's not the typical. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
While we're getting inklings of the stories and lines that we know from the past, we're also getting something new.
Yeah, so I think it's just an improvement on season 1 because they were trying to figure out their way and they didn't know, first it was 13 episodes, then it was like 22. This time they know exactly how much time they have and...
Yes, exactly. And, they're able to plot and decide how far they want their characters to progress in the season, not having to kind of shoehorn everything in and... figure out how they're going to do it after the fact. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. I want to see where they're going to take this with the Court of Owls. Like I said, I'm pretty sure Theo's going to be a part of the Court of Owls.
That would be very cool. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting ride this year, and I'm glad we're going to get to take it with them,
Mm-hmm. So, is the mayor dead?
I kind of think so, but you never know.
Yeah, they never showed it. Yeah, but the deputy mayor's like, yeah, no one knows where he's at.
Yeah, well, this is, like I said, this is comic book reality, so...
Yeah.
They could be alive or dead at any time.
So, I don't know. The question got brought up in my head again is, remember in the first episode we saw Selena with Oswald, and now she's at the... she was at the charity thing stealing and that. Is she fencing all her stuff through Oswald maybe?
You would have to think, or one of his agents.
Yeah.
Because he pretty much runs the town right now.
Yeah, and just that she was in the room with him in the first episode, I'm thinking.
Right. Well, I mean, who else is there? He's tried to kill off about everybody else, so...
Yeah. Yeah, everyone else is just like a loose cannon, like Jerome and that.
Exactly. See, you got the maniacs that can't spell, and you got Penguin, and that's most of the crime going on right now.
Yeah, unless there's something behind the scenes we're not seeing.
Right. Well, and eventually, I'm sure there will be, but other than that, that's all we know at this point. So it's got to be. You would think it would have to be one or the other, or that's what they are going to lead us to believe.
Because I think it's the whole thing like Falcone was talking about at the end of last season. Before crime was all organized, now you're just getting these maniacs running around.
Now you have disorganized crime.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's so much more fun because, it's so random and makes the police work harder and, makes the little hamsters in Jim's head run faster.
And looks like we get Michael Chiklis next week.
Yay! Yes. Had to love him commish.
What's that?
Had to love him as his days as the commish.
Yeah, I was gonna say he knows how to play a cop. He's been in some superhero stuff, so.
Exactly. Yeah, he's pretty cool.
I just wonder if he's gonna be a straight cop or is he gonna be like a crooked cop?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a very good question, actually. You know what I'm thinking though this year? I'm wondering how many Harley costumes that Gotham is going to, you're going to have Harley and Gotham and Suicide Squad. If we didn't see Harley enough already every Halloween.
Oh, yeah. And I think they're going to tease it every 2 seconds where they're like, is Barbara Harley? Is Barbara Harley?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just dreading this Halloween almost.
Oh yeah, well that's like one of the big characters DC's pushing now is Harley Quinn. I mean, especially you walk into Hot Topic, there's a ton of stuff and.
Tell me about it. That's where my daughter wants to go every 5 minutes, every time we're close to a mall. Although there is an awesome Batgirl dress in there right now.
I was gonna say that's where a lot of the the superhero merchandise is at.
Yeah. That's where I got my utility belt for work. It's a bat belt. It's got it's a stainless steel Batman cutout logo for the buckle. Yep, and that's what I wear to work. That's my little rebellion at work. Either that or my seatbelt belt of the whole Justice League.
I have a Nightwing seatbelt belt.
We have to wear both at work, and we can't wear. You can wear little itty bitty stud earrings, and that's it. That's the adornments you are able to wear. So,
yeah,
make mine superheroes, please.
But it seems like I don't know. I know you rewatched this morning, and I just rewatched the episode last night. Does it seem like there wasn't a lot in it? Like the benefit was most of the episode.
Yes, yeah, it did feel that way to me.
I think they were giving Jerome, they were making him the center of attention because, it was his last episode.
Yeah, and, I think, too, they were trying to play up the whole emotional part,
Yeah.
You got Alfred, who obviously... sorry. Alfred, obviously, is a lonely guy. I mean, think about it. The only person that he talks to is,
Bruce, yeah.
That's tough. I've been there. That's tough. Then, you've got Bruce, who is just feeling apprehensive about this whole thing after kind of getting his little heart broken a little bit more by Selena. Then you got
Well, Bruce is just traumatized.
Well, yeah.
Forget. The death of his parents, and forget his heart getting broken. Now he's had a maniac had a knife to his throat.
Well, yeah, and found that whole room of his dad's, and everything he knew or he thought he knew, was a lie.
Mm-hmm.
That makes you pretty messed up.
And that's why you create another identity.
Yeah. Well, and then the fact that Alfred tried to destroy that, so he wouldn't know the truth.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's great how they're building that Bruce is the mask.
Yeah. Oh yeah. As he gets older, that's going to be more and more true.
Right. But you can even see that now.
Oh yeah. Because that's how they sell it sometimes in the story. It's just like, yeah, Bruce Wayne, like, at least mentally died that same night with his parents, and then whatever was left just built itself up into something else.
Right. Well, and that's how it feels, and that's good. It should feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it just felt like. I mean, I get it. They wanted to have a big showpiece and big, set piece.
Yeah.
And it was pretty. It was well shot.
Mm-hmm.
So I get that.
I can't believe how Barbara escaped. I know there was a trap door, but the curtain just goes up, it goes down.
Of course. Barbara's smart. Take the easy way out.
And she only had like two different she only had two different outfits the whole episode. A robe, and then whatever that was she was wearing on stage.
Whatever that was. That was like an Elizabethan
showgirl outfit, yeah.
Yeah, an Elizabethan showgirl, yeah. Burlesque. It's a burlesque costume.
It doesn't matter to her as long as there's no pants involved.
I think those would be termed knickers. Right.
I know. Like, I was talking to Lilith last night, and I said something about that, and she was like, "What is your issue with the pants?" I said, "Find me one scene in season 1 or 2 where she actually has a pair of pants on."
What did she say?
Well, she was talking about how the show's all, how it's hard to pin down what time frame it is. Some of the stuff's like older, and she's like, back in the day, not a lot of women wore pants. I was like, yeah, but
yeah, exactly.
You could tell. Yeah, we get different elements, but this show isn't in the 50s. We can tell.
Right. Exactly. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be really interesting as we see the show going forward, because I don't know how to explain, but think about the people in the show. You know what I'm saying? The character Selena, well, she's in a young girl's body. She's got a more grown-up mind.
Mm-hmm.
You got Bruce, who is kind of the same way, but there's part of him that wants to hang on, in a way, to his childhood, and you can see that every so often. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then you got Alfred, who's obviously trying to be younger than he is.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be a fun juxtaposition to see Alfred treating Bruce.
Yeah. Do you think we're going to get Alfred dating eventually?
Yeah, that could be, and that could be very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can actually see an episode come where Alfred dates somebody and they end up being a baddie, and then Alfred's got to decide what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Dedicate himself to Bruce and to his training, and realize that, maybe that's not such a great idea for me. Or,
yeah.
Or say, I've touched everything I can. This is it. See you later, kid.
Mm.
Which I don't see happening.
Yeah, but you were talking about Alfred acting, or like trying to act younger. It's like, do you think maybe he's trying not to think about his own mortality, and he wants to stick around because he's like, if something happens to me, this boy's going to be alone in the world. Right.
Well, and he doesn't want to think about Bruce's mortality. You see that all the time, So yeah, he's definitely trying to push his limits there.
Yeah, and I mean, Alfred, the ex-military guy, the ex-marine, now he has to play like mother and father to Bruce.
Right. Well, I mean, as you get older, everybody, I think, feels that way. You want to look younger. You want to feel younger. I mean, I often say that, like I'll start a project and I have to remind myself that, while I may have a 21-year-old mind, my body is definitely not 21 anymore.
Yeah.
And, I think we all just do that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've just started hearing talks about next year. People from my high school talking about getting our 20th reunion together. I'm like, wait, 20 years?
My 25th was this year.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's like, it's so weird to see. Now that I work in a place that's in my hometown, and I see people all the time that I went to school with, and it's just so odd. Because I haven't lived here or worked here in a long time, and seeing those people again after 20 years is really odd.
Welcome to the We Are So Old cast, everyone.
Speak for yourself, mister.
I know. Did you say your 25th reunion or your 25th birthday?
My cousin had a post the other day that says, "I'm not old. I'm 25 plus shipping and handling."
So wait, what was the whole point? Were you saying Alfred's getting Botox?
Yeah, well, you gotta wonder. Well, and how hard is training gonna be on poor Alfred? After 40, let me tell you, it whoops your butt.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, I don't know.
And he's definitely over 40.
Yeah, he's over 40, but they haven't given us an exact age. What do you think? 50s?
I'd say he's, mid to late 50s probably.
Because I mean, he was still taking down gunmen at the charity thing.
Yeah, well, he's in good shape, but that's not fighting condition. You know what I'm saying? The military kind of, it's not. So, and so that's going to end up, I think, kicking his butt. I think it's going to be funny because I think you're going to see Bruce competing with him, of course.
Yeah,
which will be fun.
I heard a pretty cool fan theory where someone, or maybe even Lilith said it, but something like, what if, for this season, maybe next season too, like Alfred went out in a costume and was like fighting crime, and then I was like, oh yeah, and then eventually he gets too old, and then they switch roles, and Bruce is the one who goes out, and Alfred's the one behind the computer.
That would be pretty cool, actually. But could Alfred run a computer? He's good at smashing them. We know that.
He'd have to take one of those classes from Lucius Fox.
That would be funny.
Like when you try to teach your grandma how to use a computer, double click, right click.
Yeah. How about when you try to teach your mom how to use a computer? Okay. Place target on wall. Hit head here.
What's a podcast?
Oh, yeah. It's like a radio show that's been pre-recorded that you can listen to anytime you want, Mom. Yeah, trying to explain that is, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was talking to Rob yesterday about that. Yeah, we were both saying that. So it's like, people are like, what is it? It's like, is it a radio show? It's like, yeah, it's on the internet. You download it.
Yeah, no, Rob's folks are pretty hip and happening. They know all about podcasts.
Yeah, I know, but we were just talking about, like people in your life who are like, what's a podcast? What's a blog?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. It's funny because you're a podcaster? What's that?
I know, that's like, I was so taken aback. I think it was last Sunday. I was talking to a 20-year-old and she didn't know what a podcast was. I'm like, wait a minute, aren't you the one who's supposed to know what this is?
Exactly. Yeah.
Where are you, Gotham?
Pretty much, yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, you look at Gotham, they still have like the big panel TVs and...
But they have flip phones.
Yeah, Jim Gordon had a flip phone, and like when he got to the scene in this episode, some of those police cars, I was like, wait a minute, aren't those the same cars they look like they used in the '89 Batman?
Yeah, and then I'm thinking, okay, the fashion. All right, we've got kind of 40s vibe going on, but then again, some things are newer than that. It's just really weird.
Yeah, well,
but they definitely try to go for the glam bombshell look with the ladies.
Yeah, they're trying to go for that timeless vibe, so you don't know, when Bruce was growing up, and two, I mean, you can watch the show 10, hopefully 15 years from now, and it won't feel out of date.
Right. Yeah, it's just kind of strange.
Yeah.
Kind of like watching the original Flash.
Yeah.
That was really confusing. 40s, 80s, I don't know.
Well, they kind of took that vibe with the Batman animated series, too. Because, like, all the cars looked like they were from the 40s or 50s, and some of the fashion styles, yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You just gotta kind of laugh.
Well, I'm trying to think. Was there anything else in this issue? This episode. I'm such a comic book geek. Is there anything else in this episode? Because, like I said, it seemed like most of the charity ball was most of it.
Yeah, the charity ball absolutely was most of it. The wardrobe was lovely.
The what?
The wardrobe.
Oh yeah.
It was really nice. They spent some bucks on wardrobe this time, and I loved how the Jerome just shoved the magician down into the trunk.
Oh, we don't need this. Slam.
Exactly. It's like, that's funny.
Him and that beard.
Mm-hmm. That was awesome. He used what we've been trying to get Diggle to use an arrow for a while. A concealment device. Identity concealment device.
Oh, don't get me started on that. We were just talking about that. I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, one, how does Diggle see out of that helmet? And I'm like, two, what good is a disguise if you're still calling him Diggle?
Yeah, Mr. I am the law. That's what he looks like.
A lot of us say he looks like Magneto.
That too. Or the Black Bullet.
The human cannonball, I said.
Yeah, very true. Wow. He couldn't even borrow Ray's face shield that turns color.
Oh, you know what we didn't talk about?
What's that?
How Theo's a pain in the neck.
Well, that's true. Yes. Very true. I love how we have everybody scheming to take over things.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's just that I get Theo's had that plan since he sprung them from Arkham.
Probably since he was born.
Who knows?
He just had to figure out how he was going to do it.
I guess you can't be too good of a villain this season, or you get killed off. I mean,
right?
Poor Todd Stashwick, and now Jerome.
But comic book people that die are never really dead.
Yeah, but I mean, we really haven't gone into like metahuman powers or supernatural stuff in this show. So it's kind of like if you die, you're kind of dead.
Well, but
unless they leave it ambiguous like they did with Fish, but
right. Or they can always turn up later with an interesting story of how they were, saved.
Yeah, well, like we were saying with Todd, you didn't see a body, but with Jerome, he's dead.
Yeah. But we know why.
Oh yeah.
So that makes it
madness
easier
spreads
to deal
like
with.
a cancer, yeah.
So yeah, Gotham, you're in trouble. That's all I gotta say.
Oh yeah, because they're bringing in more. Supposedly, I think they said this season they're bringing in more villains: Mr. Freeze, Clayface.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Gotham, you're in trouble because criminals are gonna flock there when they see, how the criminal element is taking over.
Come to Gotham. Loonies are welcome.
Yes, and we have a great benefit system. Rob a bank and nobody catches you.
No, just stay away from that Jim Gordon and you'll be fine.
That's right. Or be in Penguin's pocket.
Just don't call him Penguin.
That's right. And don't call him late to dinner. And don't mess with his mama.
What you say about my mama?
We haven't seen her for a while. I've been missing her.
I know, not this season yet.
And her loony ways.
Where's he hiding her that she, so she doesn't find out he's the crime boss of this city now?
Oh, that would be so awesome. If Penguin set up his ma with Alfred.
Oh, that would last all 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, not if he brainwashed her or something, Well,
I mean, Alfred. Do you think Alfred's one?
No, but I'm saying if Penguin brainwashed her and made her more.
Oh.
Yeah, you could, have somebody kind of spying on Bruce Wayne. That could be an interesting take.
That'd be weird.
Yeah. I mean, why not? Just saying. You never know what Penguin can do.
Yeah, I don't know what Penguin. I don't know if he probably doesn't think much of Bruce right now, but
Probably not. But he's a threat.
yeah, unless he's stealing. Yeah,
He's got money, so he's a threat.
I was gonna say he might try to steal that money. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Be able to get inside intel and.
Yeah, but I think if Penguin sent anyone in to spy on Bruce, it'd be Selena.
That could be. But then again, she's been giving him the cold shoulder for a while.
Yeah. Unless he doesn't give her a choice.
Yeah. But, you just gotta wonder, you see Selena slipping towards the dark side, and you know that Bruce wants to rescue her,
Mm-hmm.
So, that's gonna come to a head eventually.
Oh, yeah.
The two ideas are not compatible.
So, anything else on this one?
I think this one was pretty short. I mean, just they didn't cram a whole lot of content in.
Yeah, no, it was basically just that one storyline, because I don't think we even got Eddie Enigma, did we?
Yeah, there was a little bit of Enigma. Didn't he laugh?
Oh, yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah, maybe something real quick, but yeah, it wasn't a lot of him.
No.
He needs more screen time.
Yeah, agreed. And I think he's going to get it.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, he better. Jerome's gone.
Yeah, exactly. We're getting a little light on the villain suit side here until we bring in some more.
Yeah, so maybe that means we'll get more Enigma stuff.
Yes. And poor Miss Kringle.
Is she going to make it out alive?
Good question. Or does she die and that's what makes him finally completely lose it?
Good questions. So, should we wrap?
Feel like a soap opera.
Should we wrap this up?
I think so.
All right. Well, what do you think Kristen Kringle's fate would be? Email us beforethebat@gmail.com. On Facebook, we're Before the Bat, the Gotham Podcast. On Twitter, where you can join me every Monday night, 8 Eastern, for the live tweet @BeforeTheBatPod. And you can get a hold of me personally. I'll talk DC, Marvel, whatever you want to talk about. NightwingPDP@gmail.com. And on Twitter, I am @NightwingPDP. And Kelly?
You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and anywhere else that really matters @SuperSquint. That's SuperSquint. And you can also hear me on several other podcasts in the Southgate Mediaverse.
If it's DC Comics, you'll probably hear either me or Kelly on there.
Or Lilith.
Yes.
Yes.
Or Tyler.
Yep, we are DC. DC Nation.
We are. We need that sign. We are DC Nation. Just have our 4 pictures on there.
But then again, I watch Marvel too, so I can talk Marvel.
Well, so do I. I do Marvel Cat podcast too. So,
which I do have to mention. I did love the meme that Marvel sent out this week.
Which one is that?
About dressing as Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, yeah, and going up to everyone dressed like an Avenger on Halloween and saying, "Can I talk to you about the Avengers in this shit?"
Any superhero, actually, you could do that too. It would be tons of fun. I would love it if we could dress up in our store, for Halloween. Because I would do that to we get so many little kids come in. My favorite is, little kid comes in, they're dressed up, like, there was one that was dressed up in a Spider-Man outfit. And so what I always do is, instead of going up to the parents, I go up to the kid and I'll say, "Hello there, Mr. Parker. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to give away your identity. How can I help you today?" And their eyes just get as big as saucers. It's great.
Oh, man.
So kids love me.
They're like, "She knows this stuff."
How does she know that? And then I show them my belt. They're like, "Oh, man, that's so cool."
She's like my mom, but she knows this stuff.
It's a grown-up who gets me. But it's really cute because, I get Superman. My favorite, though, is when somebody dressed up with Captain America shirt comes in.
Mhm.
Captain Rogers, how are you today? It's great.
Oh man.
Great fun.
All right.
So if you're in retail, just a little trick to get you in with the kids. Because if you're in with the kids, the parents are usually nice to you.
That's right. All right. Let's get out of here.
Yes.
All right. Until next week, come back. We'll see who drops dead next time.
Or drops their pants.
If they have pants. If they have pants.
And it must be Barbara.
All right. So, same bad time, same bad channel.
Same bad time, same bad channel.
The Gotham Podcast. See you next week.